Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time for this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Well, this week we'll tell you the stories and show you the images from Guadalajara, Mexico, the site of the 2011 Pan American Games. This major event is held every 4 years, and they call it Fiesta de America, or Festival of the Americas. It features the best athletes from North, Central, and South America as they come together to compete in many Olympic and Pan American sports. The Olympic clock continues to tick, and less than a year remains before we head to London for the 2012 Olympic Games. Many of these athletes will look to prove their medal here and are hoping to also medal in England. Rich with a colorful history, Guadalajara is a city of some 4 million people, and it's the former capital of Mexico. Colorful banners and murals blanket this metropolitan city as the Guadalajarans join the entire nation of Mexico in celebrating the international sports. Thousands of media members from across the Western Hemisphere have arrived to set and document the Pan American Games for fans from around the world. Well, as you may already know, wrestling is a major sport of the Pan American Games, and Team USA has arrived in Guadalajara ready to wrestle. The wrestling competition is being held at the Code 2 Gymnasium, the same venue where the Taekwondo competition was held as the Pan American Games got underway. Code 2 will also serve as the venue for the Pan Am Judo competition scheduled for the end of the Games. USA Wrestling Weekly was able to tour the facility during the Taekwondo competition. Now, we checked out the competition stage and the warm-up areas for the athletes. This is where America's greatest athletes will be put to the test this coming weekend. The first team to arrive was the U.S. Greco-Roman team. Two of the team members, Glenn Garrison at 145 pounds and Cheney Haight at 185 pounds, conducted a workout on the day before weigh-ins. They drilled and stretched and generally worked out all the kinks related to travel. Glenn and Cheney talked to us right after their workout.
I just try to polish everything off, make sure I'm doing the same things I do back home that I've been working. Just make sure they're still there and sharp. This one's real important to me. Got a couple guys that I'm really looking forward to wrestling. One in particular, the Cuban guy, and I'm going to bring it to him. So
basically, I'm just trying to get loosened up, feeling good from the fight and stuff. I'm not going to be able to learn anything new like in the last day before, so I'm just mostly working on the stuff that I've been training up until now.
We also caught up with Pan Am Games Greco-Roman coach John Matthews, who as a competitor won the event in 1979. John gives us his assessment of the task ahead for Team USA.
And hopefully we're just going to bring our best, control what we can control, and leave here with as many medals as we can. So actually we got one veteran, of course, Glenn Garrison, and Cheney Haight. We really expect some big things out of there. Actually, Joe Betterman, he's got some good mat experience, but I think all the other weight classes are, we'll get what we get out of it, and we'll see who shows up.
Loads of work is done behind the scenes by many, allowing our athletes to compete at their best. Handling many of the details for the team is USA Wrestling's National Teams Director, Mitch Hull. He explains some of his duties in Guadalajara.
There's so many things when you get on the ground, nothing that really is earth-shaking, but you've got to be prepared, and you've got such limited access. You can get your own transportation, but they can't get within a mile of the village, so it really doesn't do you a lot of good. And then you have to learn of what you can rely on. It may take 40 minutes, but traffic, things that can happen, you better, when it comes time to compete, you better build a lot more time in. If it comes time to weigh in, you better not be putting that 40 minutes in the equation. You got to put a lot more into it.
Well, the games began Thursday and Friday with Greco-Roman, followed by women's wrestling on Saturday and men's freestyle on Sunday and Monday. You can follow all the results and features on themat.com. ESPN3 has announced plans to stream some of the action from Mexico. Another media outlet, Terra, a global digital media company, will provide live streaming of all sports at the Pan American Games through 13 simultaneous HD channels in 3 languages, including English. As always, back here in the studio, we'll provide recaps and complete coverage for the 5 days of exciting action at this year's Pan Am Games. Well, many of the leaders of wrestling and the sports community joined together in New York City this week to celebrate an important historical artifact which has been rediscovered and unveiled once again. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame organized the celebration where the oldest sports manual known to man was shared with the public. USA Wrestling's Jason Bryant attended the activities and provides this report from New York City. Jason?
Here with Leroy Smith, Executive Director of National Wrestling Hall of Fame, and you just gave the presentation about the artifact. And in your eyes, in your words, how impressive is it that we have such a documentation of wrestling?
Well, it's scientific proof, once again, that wrestling is the oldest sport. And, you know, that's one of the great assets of wrestling, is that our longevity. And why? Why do we have that longevity? There's reason behind that for millenniums, cultures have embraced the sport of wrestling all over the world. And I think personally, with having the ability to see all the research and study the sport from at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum, that it's because of what we bring to society. It's more than just wins and losses. It's society sees it as something that is character building, and it develops people to their fullest potential. The Greeks had a word called arete. That word meant to fulfill one's potential in life. And these are the ancient Greeks. And wrestling was very prominent in their culture. Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, Homer wrote about it. I mean, all these great men that created Western civilization believed in wrestling. And that's because it helped one find their full potential beyond sport, and it was good for society that they participated in wrestling.
All right, this is what it says. There's 3 pages there, but only 2 of them have been translated. The first page says, another aspect of this is many of these sentences start with the word "you," and the implication is that the coach is supposed to be pointing like I'm pointing at all. Okay? You. Stand up to his side, attack with your foot, and flex on him. You, throw it. You, stand up again, turn around. You, flex on him. You throw him. You sweep and knock his foot out. You stand to the side of your opponent, and with your right arm, take a headlock and flex on him. You take a hold around his waist. You get under his hold. You step through and flex on it. You underhook with your right arm. You wrap your arm around his where he has taken the underhook and attack that side with your left foot. You push away with your left hand. You force the hold and flex on it. You turn around. You fight it out with a grip on both of his sides. You throw your foot forward. You take a hold on his body. You step forward and force his head back. You face him and bend back and throw yourself into him, bracing with your foot and flex on him. And it could have come right out of any wrestling room in the country if there were 2 people to point it, right? All right, that is the text. Thank you for your indulgence.
Here with Bruce Baumgartner, AD, Edinburgh Olympic champion among your many titles. Here at Columbia University today to celebrate this artifact. And how impressive is this artifact in your eyes?
Well, I think, you know, to see something that's almost 2,000 years old describing wrestling, you know, you listen to the interpretation. It was describing wrestling like I would tell an athlete I'm coaching, you know, how to wrestle. It was hearing Don talk about the display. It was pretty awesome. I mean, it was just a great day, you know, to see the artifact. And you know, you hear Sandy Stevens and you know Ed Aliverti would always say the world's oldest and greatest sport. And you know, I think this may give a lot of validity to the oldest sport, being it's the oldest artifact known that covers any sport, you know, written artifact. So phenomenal day.
What about the tie-in at Columbia University, the oldest wrestling program in the country, has claim to this artifact?
You know, I think that's just amazing. You know, just when you hear the history and of the first match between Columbia and Yale, and then you find out that, you know, here the artifact is on the campus, and it's just kind of things work out in mysterious ways.
Check out the entire presentation on themat.tv. Stay tuned. We have a lot more to cover. We'll be back. This is USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, USA wrestlers competed this last weekend at the Veterans World Freestyle Championships in Tirana, Albania. The U.S. had a very strong team effort at the competition. Remember, veterans now are athletes that are 35 years old and above, and those that can compete in 7 different age divisions. The U.S. brought home 5 gold and a total of 16 overall medals. Capturing his 7th career Veterans World title was 63-kilo star Shirzad Ahmadi of Connecticut in Division D. Now, Ahmadi defeated U.S. teammate Jack Hornbuckle of Oklahoma in the finals 2-0, 5-0. He also scored a huge win over the Russian Shaprov 5-0, 1-0. For his effort, Ahmadi was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week. Brad Swartz of Washington was a champion at 76 kilos in Division D. For Swartz, it was his 5th career Veterans World title. He defeated Darmstadt of Germany 3-0, 3-0, Rodriguez of Argentina 1-0, 3-0, both on his way to his gold medal. Anthony Piva of Meridian, Idaho won his first Veterans World Freestyle title, capturing the title at 58 kilos in Division B. He pinned Batavia of Russia in the gold medal finals at 1 minute 16 seconds of the first period. While the Division C kilo gold medal belongs to Jamie Kasser of Ohio, officially becoming a 2-time world champion in the process. He had 3 strong wins on his road to gold, beating Sherazan of Armenia, Holflik of Germany, and Kekik of Turkey, earning a world championship for the 2nd straight year. The final U.S. gold medal was won by John Tush of New Jersey. Tush was the only competitor at 74 kilos in Division B, and in order to see at least some action and get some matches in, he moved up to 85 kilos, where he was then defeated and did not medal. But rightfully so, FILA awarded a gold medal to him in his original weight class. U.S. wrestlers who won silver medals include Jack Hornbuckle of Oklahoma at 63 kilos in Division D, Steve Barkman of New Jersey at 63 kilos in Division E, Rex Phoebus of Texas at 97 kilos in Division F, and Terrell Harris of Illinois at 76 kilos in Division G. Team USA featured 7 individual bronze medalists, including Bob Jackson of North Carolina at 58 kilos, Mike Tuck of Missouri at 58 kilos in Division B, John Taylor of Virginia at 63 kilos in Division E, Craig Johnson chimed in from Colorado at 69 at Division E, and Peter Haig of Illinois at 85 kilos in Division E, Kenneth Peters of Illinois at 76 kilos, Division F, Roger Horton of Kansas at 58 kilos in Division C. Now, Californian Dan Chade coached the U.S. team. Chade is a former U.S. Nationals freestyle champion and a Veterans World Champ himself. Team USA came within points and just missed out on a team trophy, which are awarded to the top 3 scoring teams. Russia finished in 1st, Turkey in 2nd, and Germany in 3rd. Well, it's time for our Olympic Trials update, and this week the media accreditation process has begun for the U.S. Olympic Trials in Iowa City. Hundreds of media members are expected to be there to cover the action April 21st and 22nd. Now, it just isn't the media who are making plans to be in Iowa City this coming spring. Hundreds of the nation's best athletes in all three styles are busy training for the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an Olympic team. Moses Faye is the top star in men's freestyle at 163 pounds. Faye grew up in Iowa and was a Division I All-American for the University of Northern Iowa. He's currently training full-time at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs and has set his sights on making the Olympic team in his home state.
You know, growing up, I went to a lot of meets at University of Iowa, you know, and I've always been I'm a Panther by heart, but, you know, I like Iowa City. I like what they have going on there, so I couldn't think of a better place for it to be, you know, for just me and my family and everything like that. So completely excited about heading back there.
Other Olympic hopefuls shared their thoughts on the upcoming trials.
Well, first off, you know, it's real exciting. You know, Olympic year, the Olympic trials being in probably one of the most historic wrestling cities, you know, definitely in our country, if not in the world. So it's definitely exciting to have them there, and really looking forward to the opportunity to wrestle.
What's one thing you're looking forward to about the trials being in Iowa City, a venue that, as a collegian in Appalachian State, you probably didn't have too many opportunities to wrestle in, and in Greco-Roman, probably even fewer. What's it like for Iowa City to be the host?
Well, and so, you know, yes, I went to Appalachian State. We didn't get to wrestle Iowa, but I've been to a lot of different regional tournaments, and I've been, you know, Terry Brand's a friend of mine, and they always talk about the crowd, the amount of wrestling fans they have in Iowa. So what I'm looking forward to is seeing how many people they pack in this stand and the energy that the crowd can bring.
Well, for me, I just hope that it's going to be big. I hope that, you know, that Iowa comes out and they bring the fan crowd that we know they have. I hope it's like an NCAA's to them.
In terms of knowing the history of the Hawkeye program, and you going Greco-Roman, you went to Northern Michigan, so you didn't have the college wrestling atmosphere. Are you excited to be wrestling in Carver Hawkeye?
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. You know, we can get, you know, 10,000 fans out there, and just to hear them ooh and ah when you're throwing, and, you know, and when you win, it's a good feeling.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Iowa's always a good place to wrestle. They'll bring a lot of fans. So it's a short trip from Minnesota people, so hopefully it'll be a lively crowd.
Well, it's going to be an opportunity to kind of go back to old stomping grounds, even though University of Iowa was dominant. Back when I was competing, I always felt like it was a great place for competition, and being able to go back and compete at kind of the heartland of wrestling, I'm excited about, and I think the whole Olympic movement is excited to go back where wrestling really has a stronghold, and Iowa's the place, and Carver Hawkeye is going to be a great opportunity to show your skill.
Well, the next scheduled event providing qualifying opportunities for the Olympic trials will be October 29th and 30th at the Sunkist Kids International Open in Mesa, Arizona. This event features all three Olympic styles as well. The top American at each Olympic weight class not qualified will earn a spot in the field at the trials. TheMat.com will be providing a live webcast from this very important event. You can find out more online about this event and others when you visit iowacity2london.com. Well, USA Wrestling has added another exciting Making a Difference tournament. This one takes place November 5th, and the Boise State wrestling team will be deeply involved in the Bronco Nationals at Kuna High School, Kuna, Idaho. Making a Difference tournaments focus on supporting college wrestling, with all the money raised going directly to help support college-level programs. The series allows athletes to wrestle as USA Wrestling members for that tournament without buying a membership card. The competition will be held in the Bantam, Intermediate, Novice, Schoolboy, and Middle School, Freshman, Sophomore, and Junior, Senior divisions. The tournament will also feature involvement by the Boise State coaching staff and former Bronco wrestlers. For more information, we invite you to check them out online or contact the Pat Owens at patowens@kunaschools.org. Among those who have done a tremendous job helping to promote the sport nationally and internationally are the many outstanding photographers who share their dramatic images with the wrestling community. We ran into American wrestling photographer Robert Whitman in Guadalajara this week. He'll be capturing the action of the U.S. wrestlers in the Pan American Games, and yeah, he'll be sharing them with the world. A California resident, Whitman has been in Istanbul, Turkey for the Senior World Championships and Belgrade, Serbia for the Grappling World Championships. Prior to his journey to Mexico for the Pan Am Games, well, we visited with Robert outside the wrestling venue in Guadalajara.
Well, I'm a lifelong wrestler. About 3 years ago, I got MRSA really bad, and I wanted to stay involved in the sport. And so, man, I just picked up photography, and I just love it. Well, I'm really hoping to be able to go to London, and this is sort of a preview for London for me. Guadalajara is an awesome city. The food's great. People have been really nice. It's cheap to be here. Sports events have just been great.
Wrestling fans, USA Wrestling has launched a top social networking site designed for you. USA Wrestling Nation is the latest innovation provided to the wrestling community by our sports national governing body, USA Wrestling. Post photos, blogs, and videos. Interact on boards. Keep up with your favorite wrestling personalities with USA Wrestling Nation. It's free to register. Join the thousands of wrestling fans that have already signed up and become a part of the USA Wrestling Nation at usawrestlingnation.com. Well, college wrestling began this last week as university programs around the country started their regular season practice. For the next few weeks, college athletes and coaches will train hard in anticipation of the start of competition in November. Athletes and fans are looking ahead to a big change in college wrestling this year as there's a new and exciting format for the NWCA Cliff Keen Division I National Dual Meet Championships. This competition features 4 regional locations one weekend, culminating with a Final Four championship the very next. This concept, called Mayhem, will include a variety of new exciting marketing content that will be released throughout the year. The ultimate goal of Mayhem is to create a premier national dual meet championship that will become a platform for growing spectators and media interest in the sport. The NWCA will unveil numerous interviews and promotional videos with coaches, sponsors, and staff in the coming months and weeks ahead. The effort is a collaborative one between the NWCA and Dr. Coit Cooper with elite-level sport marketing. It'll include a marketing plan aimed at helping to bring the excitement of wrestling to the public. This year, 22 of the top 25 teams from last year's final coaches poll have accepted invitations to compete, including 8 of the top 10 teams. Teams have been placed into 4 regions of 6 teams each, with competition on the weekend of February 11th and 12th. Now, competing at Iowa State are Iowa, Oregon State, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, Northern Iowa, and Iowa State. Competing at Cornell are Central Michigan, Oklahoma, Purdue, Illinois, American, and Cornell. Competing at Rutgers on that campus there, Minnesota, Kent State, Michigan, Missouri, Cal Poly, and Rutgers. And competing at the 4th location, Oklahoma State, are Boise State, Ohio State, Nebraska, Wyoming, Tennessee, Chattanooga, and Oklahoma State. NWCA Executive Director Mike Moyer talked to us about Mayhem.
So there'll be 6 teams in each region, and out of each region, 1 team will advance to a Final Four-like concept. This is something that can bring significant visibility to our sport. We envision it being a second signature event, something that eventually grows in magnitude to something like the NCAA Division I championships that currently exist today.
For more information, visit them online, nwcaonline.com. All right, it's time for our photo of the week. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country and are being considered for the photo contest page in USA Wrestler magazine, as well as our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week, the photo comes from Leslie Tamayo. It depicts a wrestler scoring back points during Arizona State High School Wrestling Championships. Good eye there. You can have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest by simply emailing them to our friend Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all next week right here on USA Wrestling Weekly. Have a good one, everybody.